Day once again. Where's Katie?
I'm trying to. How do I log into the chat?
The chat should be starting on its own. So, and now you lost the screen again.
Really?
It's behind there.
Oh, there you are. I'm your screen.
Are we frozen? Initiating live stream. Please wait. All right. I don't know if it's frozen or if it's going, but we're just gonna start talking. Hopefully, it's all working.
Catch up.
Is it? Is it caught up?
Wait, that hand wave was so long ago.
Every episode starts new and exciting ways. It is so dark over here. I'm sorry, guys. We're just trying to.
Okay, and the chat does not look like it's open.
Well, maybe it will. Close this.
This guy?
Click that. Post.
Post?
Yes.
There.
Just click it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got chat.
Oh, there.
Perfect. How's it
Hi,
going?
guys.
Welcome to this highly professional show that Katie's not in the frame of.
That's only because I'm not in the preview. But now I'm half face. One sec.
I'm just gonna wait for her.
We really gotta like.
What do we gotta?
Figure out a better way to set
Mm-hmm.
because. This is a learning show, so we like to shift things around to see what works best.
Yes.
And currently, right now, it's like the computer can only go so far, but I need to be able to work tonight. So.
I see. Also, you can actually click the mixer so we can see your levels. And while that's happening, let's give you the rundown. Coming up in this episode of Shanahanigans Live, we've got Movember still going, still growing, still mowing. I'm going to turn this mic down a little for you guys. It's not really loud. Wreck-It Ralph implications. Are we able to talk about Wreck-It Ralph yet, or have some of you not seen it? Get back to us on that in the chat. Daisy Cutter, my copy just arrived from Bolt City. We'll be talking a little bit about that. It's in my bag. Finally started watching the series Archer. Good times. We'll talk a bit.
Yeah,
and finally, I got some weird, strange comments in my YouTubes and my Gmail recently. All that and more coming up on tonight's episode of Shanahanigans Live. Katie.
I'm here. Hi.
How are you guys doing in the chat today? It's another wonderful Wednesday night.
It is. Actually, it's pre-Thanksgiving Turkey Day.
I saw it. Talk Oasis Kill. Oh yeah. Tonight, a lot of traffic in Toronto. There's a lot of Americans are trying to book it out of the city to get back to the motherland to enjoy Thanksgiving. Arguably more popular of a family event than even Christmas.
I've heard that.
Here we just don't care. We just prefer any day off. But Christmas, it's like, well, there's presents. So Christmas is way more important to us than Thanksgiving. But, you know, celebrate what you gotta celebrate. Enjoy. Also, it's Black Friday this weekend. So whilst you're over in America, be careful not to get trampled, pepper sprayed, punched, pushed, stolen, kidnapped, or all that good stuff that happens every damn Black Friday. Why can you guys not be as civilized as our Boxing Days, where we line up politely out in the cold?
Do we really?
Yeah, man. I've been to many a Boxing Day where no one got pepper sprayed. And I'm not even saying like the cops did it. These are people who brought pepper spray to the store to ensure they got that big ticket item.
That's disgusting.
Yes. There's been grandfathers who are knocked down because it looked like they're shoplifting because they're trying to save the grandkids. First of all, you don't bring your grandkids to Black Friday or Boxing Day. Like I'm sorry if you don't have
we need to teach them how to get the best deal.
Well, the kid learned
young.
a deal in seeing their grandfather pinned to the ground by police.
Oh, yeah.
So that's always a good thing to learn.
That's pretty horrible.
Don't mess with the police, is what. Or maybe it was mall security. I don't know. But yeah. So if you're in the States, be safe. But do get them deals if you can. Now, I don't want to dissuade you guys. Like, I'm just saying all this doom and gloom. But hell, I enjoy a good sale every now and then. Until I realize you can buy most things online anyways, and screw it.
Yeah,
Why go
get a
out?
bit cheaper.
Yeah, Amazon, man. Everything's a couple bucks less.
Yeah, I just actually got the Wreck-It Ralph art book from Amazon. It's so pretty.
Wait, you got from Amazon? Bring that. All right. Also on this episode, premiere of the Wreck-It Ralph art book.
Actually, before I
do you want to get in a sugar rush? What's up?
So pretty.
Yeah. Actually, I think the Labyrinth is going to have a deal in art books this weekend, so I thought you were going to go to that. But
no.
Oh well, supporting
Why
locals.
leave the house when I could just have it sent to me?
Actually, I've been meaning to look through this. This is the Wreck-It. Pixar makes a really good art book. Their Incredibles one is excellent. And, I don't want to spend this episode, looking at this.
I think this one is my favorite art book so far.
And I do think one of the designers behind, I follow this Tumblr, the designers behind Gravity Falls did a lot of designing of these characters, because he had that kind of, retro style.
Yeah, there's some really nice art.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely take a look at this. And you guys should probably check it out, too.
I think Brittany Lee and Lorelai both worked on it, and they're so good. They did a lot of the Candyland stuff. Super good.
Oh, Candyland, yeah. I was always wondering because when if you haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph yet, a large chunk of the story actually takes place in Sugar Rush Land, which is basically kind of like a Mario Kart with candy. And I was just looking at the character designs, and it's kind of like there's a whole bevy of this kind of like Strawberry Shortcake-esque cast of racing car characters, mostly female. There's like one or two males. But I'm thinking how on a character designer perspective, how fun. I know work is work, but how fun would it be to be like, all right, start coming up with little racers based on candy?
I mean, look at
You know,
what these
is
have
there
in
a
there.
selection of them here? Do they have like a cast shot of a bunch of
They've got
them?
like a whole bunch of different.
I don't know if it's like
back.
yeah, it'd probably be in order.
Just beautiful sets.
'Cause, like, if you-
amazing, just candy trees.
But if you go to like the Disney store online, you can see they made a plushie of just about every one of them. Not all of them, but they made most of the little race car girls. Yeah, I'm not seeing a cast lineup. I don't know.
You know what? I'll find something quickly for
And
you.
I always like wonder
it's
about
very
that. Like
much like the kind of like it feels like the Mary Blair kind of.
Mary Blair.
Star
Yeah. It is very kind of takes you back. Is that kind of them roughly?
Actually,
Or?
these are.
Or is that concepts for Sugar? What's her face?
Concepts for Vanellope.
Vanellope.
Here's some
Here we
cute,
go.
Concepts for the characters. So show
So
that off.
sorry we don't have camera 2 today, but yeah. So like just
So
kind of coming up
nice.
and imagine that like you're hired to be like, all right, I want you to come up with some cute candy themed girl characters that will just fit into this world. They could be cheeky little jerks or whatever, but it's like you just get to spend days designing. I'm like that's kind of nice.
I'm looking forward to when I finish this storyboard. I'm gonna look through this more lovingly, but right now I'm so busy.
Pretty art book. I really want to get that book, says Claire, but I want to see the film first. But I'm currently trying to get the Brave book. I think the Brave book was also over there because I remember we were trying to get the Tangled book, and that was a hot seller in the art community. Like those were gone.
Nice book.
You could not get your hands on that book. So if you can track down, like they're probably back in circulation now. But at the time, like everyone wanted the Tangled book, So there you go. Yeah, a friend of mine, says Claire, works in a comic shop. Is going to try to get it slightly cheaper. There you go. Coolio.
Nice.
Yeah, so check that out. If you haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph yet, definitely check it out. And I guess since some of you haven't, we won't talk about it. But, as we say, we thoroughly recommend it. But I do at some point want to talk about some of the implications of the themes, because I like deconstructing stories. I like deconstructing the impact and the suggestion and what stuff means. And so, guys, get off your asses and check out this family film.
Sit on your asses.
Family-friendly
and watch
film.
family film.
Check out Wreck-It Ralph. Thoroughly recommended. I enjoyed it. Head over heels and rolling down the aisle, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was delightful.
Yeah. But some people are bringing up points. I'm like, okay, that's a valid point. I'd like to discuss this. But since you guys haven't seen it yet, I can't talk about it. I'd like to. I really enjoyed it. I do want to see it again. I said it before.
I do too.
Maybe in 3D. Look at me. I'm going to move that fan over here because I'm already going.
Yeah, you're like dripping.
I'm so passionate this episode. Oh, gosh, there's something else. Keep them busy.
Oh boy. We will talk about that later. In the meantime, I'm just bored in a way. I'm hoping things will get less busy after the Christmas break, and then I can start drawing with you guys again.
Whoop.
So we'll see how that goes.
Also in this episode, Pot of Gold chocolate was on sale at the store.
Oh, dear.
Will it last the entire show? We'll find out. Katie.
Yeah. No, probably not.
Probably won't start, actually. We just had, like, a quick dinner.
Actually, here's something fun. Last night I went to go hang out with Svetlana for a little bit.
Yeah. That looks like an Alan Warren piece.
Comic artist Svetlana, who now lives in your neighborhood, actually. And,
well known from such stories as...
Night School, DramaCon. She's doing some Witch Wizard comics based on books. I don't know the books. But like we were talking about just like comics we like, and we brought up Adam Warren, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he sent me a whole bunch of books in a package, and he had all this stuff just crumpled in to protect the books, and it's like gorgeous pencil sketches."
Those are originals?
It's an original Adam Warren.
That's an Adam Warren original. What does it say? It says two...
It's that swearing Ninja Girl. So
yeah.
Like, just kind of dialogue.
And this is the way to suck. Like his handwriting is beautiful. Like his
But
printing.
like,
He's got a
really
cartoon
nice
font.
sketch of this Ninja Girl, and he was just using it to...
And that's just packaging rubbish.
Crinkled up packaging rubbish, and so she let me take this one because I was like, "Can I have that packaging rubbish?"
That's amazing.
Like, look at it. Look how nice it is.
That's well done. I recognized it right away just when you were holding it. I didn't mean to spoil the surprise with it.
Yeah.
This good
But like his
secret,
throwaway sketch
suck
is something
on that,
I'd like
you
work on for.
Hamian bitch numb. Yeah, there you go. So all you gotta do is ask for books from your favorite comic creators, or no. If you can find out, go on Craigslist, and if you find out like I don't know, name a well-known artist. No, just do it.
Yeah.
You don't got any?
What?
Well-known artist. Name me an artist.
Oh.
Well established. Everyone loves their work.
So much pressure. I'm like artist, writer,
Artist.
I don't know, Chris Ware.
Chris Ware? Alright, so if you go on Craigslist and like Chris Ware is like selling a lamp, and you're like, oh my god, he's selling a lamp for like $30, but you know he's gonna have to cushion it with something.
Oh, yeah.
And if you love his work, you'll find Chris Ware
Maybe
originals.
it'll be originals.
So this is a new way to get original art, people. We've just stumbled on this. So buy stuff
Amazing.
that are delicate things. So like, you know, buy delicate things from your
Or
favorite
help
creators.
Help your favorite
Yeah,
creators.
yeah. So say, I don't know, say freaking Venture Time guy, what's his name? Penward's like, hey guys, I'm moving. And you're like, I'll help you, Pen, and go into his china, the box with all the good fine china and the nice cups, and all of his original drawings will all be in there, and he's just grabbing them. And you're good to go. That's just my theory, though. That might not actually work.
Speaking of Penward, did you see that? I don't really know too much about it, but that like LA video game workshop they're working on a Kickstarter.
Nope.
It's him, and I think I don't know if they're the ones who started the Kickstarter, but there's this. They're looking to make like a space in LA for like comic conferences for people to get together and jam on games and make games and do talks. So it's kind of like the TED Talks,
but for games.
And so
kind of like Gamer Camp.
Yeah, like Gamer Camp. I think like a year-round just game.
Oh, it's like a permanent environment, though.
And Penward is teaming up with the guy who did QWOP to make a game. And if you haven't heard of QWOP, it's this game where you're trying to make this guy
QWOP.
You're trying to make him run in a marathon, but the thing is you're not just controlling his legs, you're controlling like the lower half of the legs and the upper half of the legs.
Upper thigh and lower.
It's really impossible because you're trying to work.
Each key is a different part of the leg.
It's as if you never knew how to walk, and it's like, how do you make someone move? And your character just ends up flipping backwards.
You end up falling backwards further than you ever could go forwards.
Yeah, the great follow-up to that was Clop, which was trying to move a horse.
A unicorn.
It's a friggin' unicorn that's trying to go see a virgin on the other side of the mountain. And it's the most annoying thing because it's like, it just...
Yeah.
I always end up with it on its back because it's impossible to make it move.
I got it doing like push-ups with its arms and pumping into the air.
I feel like it's just makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
Clop, if you haven't played it, CLOP. It's a great game. If you like horses, you'll just hate this game.
So we're gonna play. Well, I was working on a movie, a direct-to-DVD movie that had horses in it.
Yes,
so you sent me that. It was hilarious.
Well, I figured you guys would know it more than anyone else because you understand horses.
Well, because we were studying horses, then we're just like, can't friggin' make this.
Well, the problem is I got the rhythm, but then like a rock shows up, and you're like, oh
well,
god,
he's trying
no.
to get over the top of the mountain, and then the stupid prince is just like heckling.
Yeah. Hello there, Clop. Oh, silly horse. Poor Clop. He's the worst.
Oh, he's the worst.
So definitely play QWOP and Clop if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
And we'll just...
But regarding that, like, Penward just made this little animated video of himself telling everybody what an awesome project this is going to be. And it's like this really simple just animation, but it's funny just how simple it is because it's him talking and he's just getting so excited that he's just like losing his thought and having to go back.
Well, I don't know, I saw someone posting that they were at the release of like the Adventure Time games. I don't know if that came out on the DS finally or what. I haven't really been in the loop on that. But I think there's a new... They've been working on an Adventure Time game for a while, I think, so I don't know if it's finally out or what. But yeah, check that out too if you haven't. Look into it and tell us, because I know nothing. Man, what else is going on? I had a list of things.
You did have a list.
I guess I'll start with the obvious. So, as you may notice, this monkey tail is turning out pretty fine. It is, of course, still Movember. We're on the last week, raising awareness and money for men's health research, prostate cancer, and all that stuff. And you definitely, if you've noticed a bunch of weird mustaches, that's what it's about. Head on over to Movember.com. Especially head on over to my Movember page and throw me some donations, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm just near $100. I just need that little, I'm like $97. Nice. I just need that little push. So I'm only happy if I at least pass 100 each year. So if any of you guys want to contribute to my Movember. And there's actually a video which I'm finally near done. It's been like a month in the making just because I've been so busy. I don't want to keep saying that, but just this video I just haven't had time to put time into. So like last night I just charged forward and did it. My annual Movember shaving video, which is like 21 days late now. But in it it'll also talk about how if you donate $25 and put in the code SRT, you will be contributing as well as getting yourself a chapter of Shaggy Reads Twilight. Because the last few years we've been offering like not live readings, but book on tape readings of books with silly voices and stuff like that. And this, if you've enjoyed Shaggy Reads Twilight, this will be the last time I ever offer it. So this is it. Right now there's only 13 chapters.
The series is over. So
yeah, I can't go on further. Why keep going? So if you want any more Shaggy Reads Twilight, this is your last chance to get some. $25 to my Movember page. It's Shaggy Shan. And the code, just type SRT or Shaggy Reads Twilight or whatever you want in the comments if you donate $25 or more. Otherwise, any other donation is appreciated because I just want to get over 100. And yeah, that's my announcement. That's my PSA. And the video should be going out maybe tonight, if not tomorrow. Hopefully tonight. It's been way too long. It's kind of cheesy.
I hear you.
Ugh. as I'm telling everyone, I'm trying to get all my personal projects done, my old backlog stuff done before the new year. It's kind of my goal. Because I just have so much footage and stuff, and just like, I just want to get this out there.
It's hard to catch up on stuff when you have to like go in for a job.
Yeah.
Because like when there's lull time, you can't just switch.
That's the thing, yeah. Like if I have downtime at work, I can't just like, alright, time to edit the fun stuff. It's like, oh no,
I have to act busy.
That's funny that I say if I have downtime, because there's no downtime. But I'm just saying, if I did, if there ever was a chance, I could be like, oh, it's time to work on this other thing. But that's not actually happening. So there you go. Also, if you guys have any topics you want to throw our way to see if anything we've also saw or seen, definitely tell us. And actually, did I bring it up here? Yeah, I did. So I finally got in the mail. A good while back, there was a Kickstarter to re-release a certain book.
Oh.
And it finally showed up in the mail. It is, of course, Daisy Cutter from Bolt City. Our good buddy Kazu is one of his. I'm not sure the history of it. I didn't follow up, but it's like one of his first printed, complete, individual story thingamajiggies. Daisy Cutter. If you haven't checked it out yet, I don't know. I think you can still. Can you still buy them, or was it only like a Kickstarter thing?
Yeah, I think it's just.
Can you order them?
If they print it up enough, you might be able to get them off his shop, online shop. Bolt City.
Maybe. Be sure to check out Bolt City. But I really enjoyed it. I remember the first year at Comic-Con, like we were at their workshop, and I got a chance to like look at a bit of it way before the whole Kickstarter thing was happening. And I'm like, oh, I want to keep reading it, but I couldn't because I had to go. And now I can finally read it. Yeah. I had to fly the hell out.
I want to stay there the whole time. Can we just live here?
Yeah, but definitely worth the read. It's a solid, like it's interesting because it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of a small story in the sense that there's not too many characters. The goals aren't too world changing. It's kind of like a very self-contained story, but it's very entertaining. It's very the characters are fun. The design, of course, you can see a lot of influence on what was to come with his work on Amulet, released through Scholastic. If you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check out Amulet, written and drawn by Kazu Keibushi and colored by the wonderful Jason Cafoe.
Wonderful. Fantastic Jason.
There's other people who work on it too. I'm sorry, I don't remember everyone's name.
I think it's Zach and we got a whole bunch of people who work on it.
Yeah.
You're all awesome if you're watching.
And if you're curious, these are also the people behind the Flight anthologies as well as the new Explorer series of anthologies. So be sure to keep an eye on what's going on because they're big pusher on like bringing independent creators like a little bit more limelight over what is out into the public. So you definitely want to follow their stuff, or at least their Twitters, like a Bolt City, Jason Cafoe. But yeah, definitely a fun read. It's I wouldn't call it like there's steampunk, then there's like Western punk ish. It's kind of like it's Western with a bit of robots.
Yeah, that's
in it.
Steampunk, isn't it?
Like I don't know. I never really knew the definition. Like steampunk was always like
steampunk was
gentlemen with jetpacks.
Is
a finer time.
As I understood it, it's like it's Jules Verne. It's like Jules Verne technology.
Yeah.
A steam world. So however you want to interpret.
But you can assume like a Western world would exist because not everything was like, a city at the time. Like stuff was still developing.
Yeah.
Stuff was still being explored. So like this could be a story in the outskirts of like one of those kind of more steampunky. And the thing is, I've never actually read or watched much of anything that is steampunk. Like genrefied as that. Like never really. I've seen the culture in the cosplay. It's not even cosplay. It's like just original design. It's people just dressing up as whatever they feel like, or adopting other mediums like Ghostbusters as Steam and stuff like that.
I always like that.
But I've never really like read or watched or played anything that was per se steampunk, as far as I'm aware.
Is that like the BioShock games?
I don't know. BioShock is always referred to as oh god, there's an author. What's her name? She writes stuff like, "This is serious."
That narrows it down.
Her name's kind of like Maggie. No, no.
What did she write?
Britta. No. All right. Wait. Ayn Rand. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what Britta. I don't know what Ayn Rand is. What her stuff's about. But apparently, BioShock is heavily inspired by it. And I don't know if it has to be like concepts of like, the people versus the power, and more like, because one of the great lines from the opening of BioShock, if you ever played it, was the narrative from whoever runs the city of Under the Sea, Mr. Atlas or whatever it is, and he's like, "Is a man entitled to the sweat on his brow? No, says the government, it belongs to the government. No, says the church, it belongs to God. No, says the Russians. It belongs to someone else.
Those
I don't know.
Russians.
And his whole point was he built this underwater utopia that was free from all that stuff. But the interesting concept was people who move there still start like smuggling in Bibles and things like that. And it's just like, and all this is kind of told just through like wandering around. Like it's a first-person shooter, so they don't really have much like Half-Life style storytelling where it's like you see stuff happen. It's usually just like records and tapes and scenery that tells you the story. And all you really do is shoot everyone in the face. Fun game. You know, you can release bees.
I think they brought in a little Bible.
I had the power of the bees, which is great.
Nice.
But if you haven't...
Smuggling into bees.
I smuggled bees into this
bees
utopia.
underwater.
Yeah, what a
Well, I
dick.
mean, it would be excellent because then you could
Be
pollinate
excellent.
and have your but you'd pollinate and have your lovely foods and things.
But
like,
consider that it's like, we finally moved to Mars and we're ready to, set up. And you're like, I brought the bees! And everyone's like, you asshole!
it's not even like they're normal nice bees. They're like
Yeah.
genetically evil.
It's like, I got those wicked evil Japanese bees they made. It's like, why would
giant
you...
spiders.
Why would you bring these to Mars?
You
It's like people
dick.
need fear. Because they'll...
It'll motivate you.
Yeah, they'll know, like, not to just open cupboards willy-nilly.
Oh gosh. I don't want to get too comfortable on Mars.
Yeah, we got Adriana here saying hello. Yo,
Hey Adriana, welcome back.
stop. Wait, back from what?
She went home to Texas.
What?
For Thanksgiving.
Oh, wait, why would you be back already? Thanksgiving's like tonight.
Yeah, how come you're not back?
You should be back like after
be
the
so back
Black
for
Friday
Thursday.
deals
Yeah.
and all that. So you got the madness at the Walmarts
Yeah.
and the Targets and the Best Buys.
Yeah.
There's some other store that I'm like, why are they doing? Oh, it was Starbucks. It's like Black Friday at Starbucks. I'm like, really? What could you guys possibly have? That's like, oh my god, I've got to buy a coffee cheaper. It's like,
Maybe
okay.
just-
So that's
just
like
like
going to
that.
Tim Hortons, I guess. But I don't know. That's the
Or
Canadian
Tim
reference.
Hortons. They got Tim Hortons in the States.
Oh, like 3 of them. There's one in
I
England.
keep seeing a bunch of them.
I found one.
I find them in the interstate. Well, because like when we were driving back from Cleveland for Jason's wedding, Jared
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I wish they had Tim Hortons here." And I was like, "There's one right off that bypass, right through Pennsylvania, just like there."
But is it the same?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Just not that pure.
But the water's different, right? It's not that Canadian water.
Yeah.
Missed the craziest American Thanksgiving Black Friday. At least you got through the border already. Because it's going to be a mess. People are going to
Yeah.
get pulled over for everything. It's like, were you in the States to purchase things? You're like, no. It's like, why'd you say it with a high-pitched voice and lots of doubt? I don't know.
Well, I
Join
was
the
saying
others.
that When I was going over the border, and I was just so weird and suspicious that
Yeah.
they were like, "What's the reason for going there? To coming to the States? I'm going to wedding, Jason and Rachel's wedding, and there's the dinosaur museum." And you're just staring at me.
Yeah.
And how do you know them? Well, see,
This is Comic
we
Sea,
met
and-
comics, but
and-
they're from LA, but they're not getting married in LA, but I don't know who's in Georgia, and it just kind of just kept going. It was
This is
so
a
ridiculous.
perpetual, awful conversation.
But I mean, you're so ridiculously guilty looking that it's like
I almost like
all right,
want
come
them to
through.
find
And so
something,
when I roll
you know?
up and I'm like, hi, they're like,
yeah.
all right, drugs.
Well, it's almost like I want to be getting away with something almost. It's kind of like that thrill of like, it's right. But I don't want to be caught for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
So maybe not.
There was a funny sketch in that comedian Dana Carvey, like
Yes.
from Wayne's World.
Yes.
He had a variety show, and there was one skit he used to do with Steve Carell, where it was like there were two guys that it was kind of like the whole skit was always set up like they were about to like dine and dash or something, but it was always they were doing good deeds, and then they'd run away at the end of it. So one setup is like they just shoveled this granny sidewalk, and they come at the door, and they're sniggering like they
yeah.
knock, and she's like, "How much did we agree on, dear?" And they're like, $20 each. And she's like, "Okay then," and then she walks to get the money, and then they book it
Yeah.
and get in the car, and then she shows up with the money like, "Huh?" And then it cuts to the car, and they're like, "Ah!" like kicking the seats, and it just it's different skits like that.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything wrong, and then they're just acting like they're getting away with it.
Is that on Netflix or something? I didn't see that.
It might be now, but like,
Maybe.
I think we taped it or something. Or Jerry bought like a VHS of taped
Yeah.
videos.
You just bought like all that rare stuff you can't find. We're both off frame. What are we doing?
My seat is knocking my bulletin board.
I finally started watching Archer.
Yeah, it's pretty silly, isn't it?
It's pretty much the greatest thing right now.
I started watching it because I was doing a lot of storyboarding.
Yeah.
And, after a while, it's like you don't want to listen to music, and after a while, I listen to all my podcasts.
Yeah,
so
you
I
caught
had it on
up.
Netflix, so I just started streaming it. And the first episode, I was like, I don't know if I love this because this guy's such an ass. But then it's
Yeah.
just like halfway through that episode, I just totally got addicted to it, and then just watched the entire season in a night.
Yeah.
The entire 2 seasons. It's so ridiculous.
I didn't do that yet. I watched the first like 6 or so episodes, which are great.
So ridiculous.
You know, this is how we get ants, kind of thing. You know?
Do you want to get ants?
Like it's one of those it's one of those well enough written shows where it's just like there's enough callbacks, even to stuff that just happened.
Yeah, and the dialogue is so funny that I don't even really need to watch the screen because I can work and then just listen.
Well, yeah, it's not. I guess it's not like a visually funny show, but it's pretty much you could have had had like a radio play, and it'd be just as enjoyable.
Well, because it's like Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development.
She's great.
It's like the M
boss
character. Of this, it's basically like a spoof on James Bond, where it's just like the inner workings and office politics of a
pretty much if it was an Arrested Development James Bond, where it's just like a certain kind of dysfunctional
James Bond, ridiculous dude.
Yeah.
And then his like ex-girlfriend, I love her so much. I forget her name, but the woman spy character, she's so funny. And just the way people talk is really funny, like just the weird ways. Just I don't know.
Well, I think it was the same studio behind Frisky Dingo. If you ever watched that, I believe that it was them. That was kind of a follow-up, and they did. And even that show, I'm kind of hard to explain what it's about. It's basically about this like weird white skull like supervillain guy, and just I'm not sure what it's about really. Now I think about it. If you've seen Frisky Dingo, you know, try to explain it to someone. It's about the same kind of sense of humor though. It's just like irritating dick characters. We're all self-righteous. Like I love how cruel Archer is to his butler guy. He's like, that's not how you make a poached egg, and that's why he's throwing his clothes off the railing again. Like, that's how you get no more clothes. I'm like, what is going on? But definitely, like, you haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, that secretary character gets more and more crazy through it too.
Yeah, that secretary's insane.
She's
like,
voiced by Kitty, the secretary from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Too. Because I was like, her voice is so familiar.
It's weird because she's like lying on the desk and she's like, you know, this might sound crazy, but wouldn't you just like it if like a fireman saved you from a burning building, but instead of giving you CPR, he starts choking the life out of you? And I'm like, what? He's like, that'd be kind of hot. It's a fascinating show. If you haven't seen it yet, do check out Archer.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I definitely need to watch more. I have a bunch. But in between that and trying to edit videos, I gotta edit more.
It's hard to editing.
I don't have time to watch. I don't have time to enjoy things. I still haven't opened my copy of Assassin's Creed 3.
I still have your Monkey Island just sitting over there.
Yeah.
I opened it to look at it, but I haven't played it yet.
Like I've played enough. I feel like I've reached the point where I've had the Halo honeymoon is now over, so I'm kind of like not like, oh my god, I gotta play Halo 4 tonight for hours on end and get all the achievements. Like I'm kind of like I'm good. Like if someone invites me, I'll jump on. But like I do want to try Assassin's Creed 3 because I have it. I don't want to run around Revolution time.
E3 is based in the Revolution.
Yes, you're hanging out with Washington, and he's like, "Hey."
Wait, was that which? I don't
fighting
know
the
British.
British.
I don't know my American. Yeah, you're fighting the British. Okay.
But my worry, though, as I've always kind of pointed out, is Assassin's Creed is gradually, even not gradually, kind of blatantly, gotten further and further away from stealth, and it's all just like you're running around just kicking the piss out of the British. And I'm just like, really, Assassin? Really? This is what we're doing now? We're just running through a base punching everyone? I'm like, what about planning and sneaking? Because supposedly the new Hitman game also came out. The bald dude with the barcode on the back of his head.
Oh, cool.
And this game is supposedly, you've gotta be stealthy or you will die. Which most games have strayed away from recently. Because people just don't have patience for stealth. They want to run and gun. But I'm like, it is a valid genre. To be sneaky and like not have to kill everything in sight, you know? Like, why is that the only conflict resolution? Can we not have discussions? Like, open up a dialogue box instead of pulling out a gun, you know?
Like Monkey Island.
Yeah, there you go. But I guess that's a different genre.
I love point-and-click adventures.
Well, they got those bright red coats and they're asking to get beat up, says Kel. Maybe.
Is that the British?
Yes, the British.
Is that when they used to have war where it was like they just face each other in the battlefield and like you shoot and then we shoot and then you shoot?
Well, the trailer's great because like that's going on, and then Connor, who's the new assassin, he's like running through all the middle of it, jumping over a fence, and then he just stabs one guy, and the whole army's just like what? And I assume the trailer cuts there, but I assume after he had to kind of like hustle back to get on his side because he's kind of like, wow, I'm outnumbered. All these dudes have guns, and I'm just kind of good with trees. So I'm going to run now, because I'm in an open field, lacking in trees. I didn't think this through before I started this attack.
I thought this through, Connor.
Good. did it again, Connor. You did it again.
So stupid.
People have been posting on telling me though, like Connor like petting like dogs and
Yeah,
pigs and stuff like that. That's a big deal.
Great 'cause you can just pet
You just
goat.
pet animals.
That's what I do.
Just like pat. That'll do, goat.
They're so cute.
That'll do. I just bought Scribblenauts Unlimited, and it's taken a bit of discipline to keep myself working.
Yeah, it's so hard when you get a new game.
Scribblenauts, if you haven't played it, is the game where you can basically write whatever you want, and it shows up in the game as an interactive item or character.
Adorable.
So you can be like Metal Dragon on roller skates.
No, really?
And I'm assuming, like, test that theory for me if you can. But I'm assuming it will do that because it was like, this time we've added verbs, and you're like, oh my god, skating slowly.
This annoying thing is just like. One game I'm really interested in, and I'm not too up to date in games, but I've seen the art book for Journey.
Oh, yes.
And it's Journey, right? Where
Yes.
it's in the desert. And
Yes.
it reminds me very much of, like, Ico. No, I never played Ico. Shadow of the Colossus.
Right.
And
Very...
I would really like to
What's
play
the word
it
for
when I
that
get
when
some
stuff
time.
is like spacious and quiet? It's a game. It's a game of purely exploration.
Yeah,
it's just
I
jumping
like that.
around. And it's on PlayStation, so you can get it, actually. You can actually get... Oh, you can actually buy like a triple pack from that company. I think they're called That Game Company.
Oh, cute.
You get Flow, you get Flower, and you get Journey. All your favorite games in one disc.
Flower makes me rage. Just the fucking petals.
Friggin' wind! You stupid blue petals! These tunnels and the fan.
Because it doesn't
Nature.
It goes exactly where I want it to go.
I hate this. And meanwhile, like, I'm having a comment like, oh, this is you. Flowers are wind. Like, I can't get the dandelion of friggin' petals.
Got a sword
I
on
hate this game. It's harder than Demon Souls.
I was able to get really far my first time playing that.
You played Demon Souls?
Yeah, I played it once and I was doing great, and then I was like winning against that red knight, and I was like, awesome! No, I killed him.
Yeah.
And then I got stabbed in the back by some orc on a staircase, and I was like, well, this game's stupid, I have to start again.
I'm gonna go back and get my soul.
I don't have the patience.
Screw this.
But I had backseat game while Jerry played, I'd draw.
Yeah. I haven't even played or seen it yet. I'm curious. Like, I know they made a sequel that was called like, well, there's Dark Souls and Demon Souls and I don't know, something like that.
It's pretty fun. Jerry
But
really like it.
I saw like the speed runs people are doing where they're just like running around all the bad guys because their swing animations so kind of slow that they're like,
yeah.
and they just like rush through the level. I'm like, oh, these are pretty big levels that you're just avoiding everything in.
Well, I mean, if you die, you have to start again. You
Yeah.
lose everything.
Well, supposedly there's this kind of like interesting online integration where it's kind of like you can leave notes by being like, look out, buddy, there's a trap in us ahead. Don't be like me. And it's like not actually multiplayer, but it's like you get like missives from people being like, but you can't write your own though, so you can't just be like, you're a dick.
Yeah, because it's amazing where it's like you're at the last of your rope, and then it's like there's a word, and you read it, it's like butts.
Yeah.
No.
No, this doesn't help me at all. As you love it. But I haven't played that yet. But I don't know if I talked about it before already, but something that was really underrated, I find, in the gaming review community was Resident Evil's drop-in kind of multiplayer elements, where during the missions, you with your robot friend or co-op buddy, depending, because there's always two characters, are going around doing stuff. But at certain events, like a boss fight or special rooms, it'll be like going online and it'll find two other people in the campaign who are in the same place as you and throws them into your game to be the other characters in the story. And the game, Resident Evil 5 or 6, got like destroyed by reviews. But as a co-op game, it was damn fun, and it was entertaining. It was action packed. The story was silly, but it worked. It wasn't a Resident Evil game. It was an action game, but it was silly and fun. But that element was really neat because it was kind of like in a boss fight. There's this giant boss, and then two other people have now showed up in your game to help fight, but as other characters that like you haven't played as yet. Or you already have played, so you're kind of wondering, how did they get up to this point that they're joining me? Like, what missions were they on before? And I think it's a really interesting concept that I'd like to see done more in games. This kind of, because all the games are most games are connected online anyway.
Well, I heard Journey, it's like that. Where
Journey does that, yes.
Yeah, but it's like you can't talk, so it's like there's some kind of strange. It's either a language or a movement that you
make
use
like
to communicate
bell
with people.
noises and stuff like that, but like
Yeah, so it's like you're trying to understand the other person with this strange language.
And it's kind of like you just follow someone else around. I think this is an interesting direction that online gaming should go, as opposed to everything being combative, or straight up set up a co-op campaign. It's kind of like additive play, where it's like they're not there as your partner, they're not there as your friend, but they're in your world, and it's not necessarily MMO, but like you both have a common goal. So it's kind of like just these like brief meetings of assistance, where it's like, you know, this we can help each other here, and then we'll go our separate ways. So I'm like, it's an interesting concept which I'd like to see implemented in a lot more games. Maybe not as like the main feature or the hook, but like, because Resident Evil doesn't even talk about it really. It just happened. I'm like, oh, there's other guys, and on top of that, there's a dumb mode where you can be the bad guys like zombies, and you attack other players in their game. But you're so slow and a waste of time that you're just gonna die anyway.
Oh,
but it's funny because I get to throw a shovel at actual players, and I'm like, well, I'm dead now. And then Chris Redfield punches me in the friggin' face. But it's kind of cool to have these elements of the players are also your enemy. Like this was a big deal in specific games like DayZ, whichever, where you show up on an island and you're just a survivor, and the island's covered in zombies, but they're actually not your problem. The problem is all the other players online are probably going to kill you. If not, they're either going to team up with you, ignore you, or kill you. Whoa. And it's a game with permadeath. And permadeath is basically once you die, you start again and you have nothing. Like so someone will kill you and take all your good stuff at the risk of other people spotting them and killing them and taking all their stuff. So you can be playing this game for weeks, screw up once, and lose everything. And I think, but I think it's unique. I think there's some interesting gameplay that, like a lot of the online feature has been very stagnant for now. That's just been like versus mode. And only recently, like with Gears of War and Halo, co-op. Now, there's probably co-op on PC. I apologize for being like all console. But it's like, there's not too many innovations of how to play together online outside of competitive, you know. And MMO, I guess. You know, your World of Warcrafts and things like that. That's just everyone running the free round. It's more social and stuff. I like these kind of like brief meetings and departures. It's kind of neat, you know.
Yeah.
So, that's just my thought.
Sounds good to me.
Also, atheists kills God in Scribblenauts. Really? Interesting. Apparently Scribblenauts has lots of weird inside jokes and stuff like that.
Seems like you just have to try a lot of stuff to find a lot of characters.
That's kind of it, really. Let me see if I can find this. I mentioned I had strange comments.
Yeah, is it like weird comments or like mean comments?
No, it's not. I don't even think it's to me. I got 2 comments on like the same day. One's an email. I don't think I'll read the. Well, let me see if I can find this. All right, here we go. So I made this video way back called Orgus Intergalactic Spacecraft.
Yeah.
We took this anime called Transdimensional Piece of Crap Orgus. I forget the full title, which is either like some offshoot or somehow was tied to Macross. It was a weird period in anime where everything was from the same show, or it was all merged to pretend to be the same show when it was translated. But anyway, it's robot ships in space, and we had these like $2 VHSs from Blockbuster with god-awful voice acting. The worst ever. Like, someone's cousin definitely was hired, if not just invited to walk by and yell at a mic. And I took it, and this is before, you know, this is just as... I don't even think I had it for YouTube. I just did it for myself, because YouTube wasn't really around. Abridged series weren't even happening at the time. But there was one other anime I saw that was like Odin, this old space anime drama that someone did a parody dub of. It was just called parody dub. It wasn't abridged. It wasn't Naruto abridged. So I'm like, all right, Orgus parody dub. I did it for fun, and it was me and you were in it. Selena was in it.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's enjoyable.
It was fun. You put in a lot of like good music.
Yeah, I took a lot of sound effects.
He edited around and just made a whole new plot.
I rewrote the whole plot from using the footage. I stripped the audio, had my own sound effects,
really
my own music. And so now it's on YouTube. It's been on there for a while, so you can check out Orgus Intergalactic Spacecraft on my channel, Shaggy Shan. And someone went to the first episode, and this isn't even a comment. This is just like statements. And it goes, "I feel like spacecraft sometimes. ... And I hated to see it happen. Top my brother. ... Nah, it was funny. He lost. Ha ha ha. No, it's messed to be spacecraft and just an old quote space person, and the kids get to try it out."
You know what? It's probably just a link, because I get stuff like that on my blog where it's like they're just trying to get you to click the link to some weird shop.
It's not a link though. This is a comment. You can't put links in comments.
Maybe English isn't their first language.
I don't know what they're trying to tell me. Usually I can decipher. The kids get to try it.
Maybe they mean us.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, that was the first one.
That was weird.
The other one, I'm not going to bother right now, but it was weird because the opening of it, this was more of a direct message, I guess, to my YouTube account. The guy's like, "Hey, I used to be a YouTuber, but then Google, took away my account."
Yeah,
anyway, here's the longest list ever of things you should check out. And then it was just this ongoing list. And it wasn't just random. It wasn't an ad. It was catered.
That's weird spam.
It was catered to, like, me and you. It was just this crazy list of, like, if you like these games, you should check out this. It just kept going. And I'm like, I don't know, like, what. I haven't really done anything lately to deserve
look at the things
such a gesture, like, of, like, hey, you should check these out if you like this.
Right away, I'm not even thinking it's a person. I'm like, it's some kind of bot.
I don't know.
Because I'm just instantly.
It was so bizarre. It was just like yeah, I don't know. I was just really baffled, taken aback, if you will. I don't know what it's about. Anyway,
I got an odd email the other day.
Yeah.
Probably should respond to it. I think it was just from it was like a young person that was like, hey, you know, I want to request a commission. I want it high quality, but I need it to be cheap because I can't afford to pay much.
Yeah, you can't.
Which right
really...
away I'm like, no. I mean, I'm busy. I can't take on commissions right now anyway. But then they were asking to how much it would cost to buy the copyright to some of my artwork. I was just like, no, it doesn't work that
what?
way. Yeah.
Which work?
I don't know. It was going to maybe pick and choose which ones, but I was like...
So he wants to own the rights to something you designed?
Like, I'm not...
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. I'm just going to say no. But yeah, I've never had that before. It's like, can I buy the rights to this?
But like, what would you do with it?
New.
Like, make a thing?
I'll sell you a print, but...
That's so weird. Buy the rights. Were they like trying to pitch a series and like, I got nothing. But these characters look great. Can I have them?
No.
You know, because usually that's the fan fiction thing. Is you write fan fiction about your favorite characters and then you just reappropriate them and call it something else, and then you get 50 Shades of Grey. So there you go.
TV Dinner saying about Scribblenauts typed in curious flying potato and it worked.
Yeah.
Really
no, Scribblenauts is quite in depth.
Adorable.
Why
Do you
not?
think chat's frozen? Nobody.
Nah, it's just no one has nothing to say.
Everybody's being nice and chill.
Yeah, you guys.
Pre-turkey day.
Oh, is that what this is? You guys are like the preemptive snake? You're like digesting before Thanksgiving?
The snake gets bigger. It doesn't digest.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
It gets bigger to be able to eat its prey.
Right. It starts adapting to eat your face. I haven't actually studied snakes.
Very interesting.
I got nothing else written down.
Oh, we're good?
Well, I don't know if we're good. Like, what? How's your life?
Oh gosh, busy.
Oh wow. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I have a deadline next Friday, and then I'm moving right on to another storyboard.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving right on to another storyboard after that. I'm busy, so it's excellent, but I am getting a bit worn out. But I'm gonna hopefully be able to take a couple days off of Christmas to just lie on the floor face down in front of the fire.
That's the thing, is like I worked for companies before where Christmas is just like they shut down for the week or two, whatever, because there's just no business going on at that time, and I'm like, awesome. But like right now, it's like you can either get Christmas Eve off or New Year's Eve off. And I'm like, really?
Both?
I'm gonna be like there all week
You're
doing
just like
yeah, because it's kind of like I have like vague memories of
sick.
Christmas holidays where you just kind of lie around and do nothing. I'm like, I was looking forward to that.
And you can take a whole week off.
I know.
Remember summer breaks?
Yeah.
Remember reading week?
Yeah, I kind of had a summer break. It was called unemployment. But like, I'm kind of thinking that I want that week off for Christmas, as well as the knowledge that I have work to come back to. That's why I feel like,
therein lies the rub.
I know. I just want to shut off for a bit.
Me too.
Work sucks.
It's funny because my shutting off would be like trying to work on a comic project. Like,
oh no, that's the same for me. Technically, it's like my shutting off is now I can get those 20 videos done I still have to do. Yeah.
Now I can finish commissions.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Now I can write that next thing.
Yeah.
There you go. But that's why this season I want to get a laptop so I can finally start writing outside of my house, so like on a lunch break. Yeah, I'm debating whether I want to get one on Canadian Black Friday or Boxing Day. I doubt any deal is better than the other at that point.
We should just check on the States.
No, I don't want. I never want to go to Black Friday. It seems too crazy. Yeah. Like I don't need like the store owners hyping everyone up, being like, "Are you ready to rush in here at 1 a.m. and trample our employees?" I'm like, I don't need that.
People apparently, I'm seeing Twitter is that people are camping out now.
Yeah.
For Black Friday.
Oh yeah, no, but they don't open the door until like whenever.
Yikes.
But I don't know. Like, you do what you gotta do. But I don't want to be there. Yeah. Graham's gonna be there. He's going to Niagara Falls, so he might be there right now. Maybe he can report. He'll probably report back on it. Check out Graham's Grumbles on uberfriendship.com. He wrote an article recently about Black Friday and Thanksgiving.
Well, I was on your site today.
Yeah.
Did you post it? Someone posted it where it was like how to do a Jedi Knight lightsaber battle.
It's probably Glenn.
And it was like, always aim just to the side, but jump anyway.
That video,
just,
yeah.
It was the.
It's like frozen, and the guy's like swinging and not going to hit him, even if.
Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and
Obi-Wan fight,
and it was just kind of slowing down the choreography. So it's like
it
nothing
freezes
is ever
the guy in
dangerous.
place to show that he wouldn't have been hit even if he didn't duck.
But I mean, that's choreography anyway. You're not gonna.
Well, it depends what choreography you have.
Yeah, maybe. But then it was like hitting the blade, and nothing else. It was pretty cute.
Adriana saying, I saw one scary thing prior to Black Friday back at my parents' place 2 years ago. A daycare near my parents' place was offering daycare services at 3 a.m. so parents can go shop.
Oh.
But you know what? I would rather that than them bringing their kids. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, you're right.
I would rather have your 3 a.m. Like, sure, everyone stay home is the best solution and order online, whatever. But if they're going to, if they really need to go, I would rather them leave their kids somewhere safe than go into that madness. Because it's just like, I don't know. Like, once again, these are like the exceptions to the rule. Maybe I'm pretty sure every store doesn't have a tragic story, right? But it's just like the stuff you hear is just really, it's products. Calm down much.
It's stuff.
You're gonna be bored within a week.
Well, the thing is,
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's that weird culture of just stuff because it's like, what do you need so bad that you have to like camp out for 3 days for it?
I don't know.
Like.
For it to be like $10 cheaper. Well, that's Canadian Black Friday, so $30
maybe I really need
cheaper.
a new computer and I can't afford it, so
maybe.
No, I can understand that.
Maybe. I don't know. I just can't do it. I do try to do the like Boxing Day online sales for like Best Buy and Future Shop.
Well, online.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. Oh, risky me. But it's hard getting that line because the servers are slow and you're like racing to get to the click and refresh.
It's
kind of intense.
Comic-Con
Yeah, I got that email. If you're planning to be in a Comic-Con Pro and you got to refresh or renew your Pro application, the deadline is December 10th, I believe. Yeah. Get on that if you're going to Comic-Con.
I'm busy.
Are we going to Comic-Con?
I want to.
Well, like, don't we have to say like what we recently worked on to go to Comic-Con?
We worked on stuff.
Okay. I was like, how recent do they need that?
I was reading it though, and it's like film. No, it's like comics, film, and animations. I'm like, sweet. Like,
oh, really?
Even if I haven't done a comic lately, I've done a lot of animation.
Can I use that? I'm like, I did a voice in a commercial.
Here you go.
Just saying. Not gonna say which one.
Did you really?
Sort of.
Interesting.
It was more like there's no one else around.
It's more like you're at home and the mute falling.
No. It wasn't my own project.
Yeah.
It's actually like a Canadian company.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it was kind of like we just recorded really quick, so it's not the greatest audio, but I'm in a commercial, so take that.
Actor's gonna be like.
No, don't talk about them. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm curious to like look into more vocal stuff this year. That's the goal. I keep saying every year, this is the year. This is the year.
This is the year. No time like the present.
I'm gonna throw my reel on 123voice.com, where I can be next to everyone doing their best Peter Griffin impersonation. And maybe I will stand out.
Did you finish listening to that Tara Strong video?
No, I've been meaning to. I don't know. Did we talk about this last week or?
I mentioned it and then we started watching it, but then.
Fat Man on Batman, which is Kevin Smith's Batman podcast. Recent episode, or I don't know how early it was. He had Tara Strong on it, the voice behind Twilight Sparkle, as well as Bubbles from Powerpuff Girl, Raven from the Teen Titans series, Batgirl from Batman animated series, many characters. Hello Kitty. She's done quite a bit, and she's actually from Toronto. How about that? She actually lived way up north, up the same street that I'm nearby.
Oh yeah.
So it's cool to know that it's possible, and she made it big times, and it's a very good episode. I haven't finished listening to it, but the coolest thing I found out was she grew up with parents who owned a candy store.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's a ludicrous thing to have as a kid. You're the kid with a candy store.
Yeah.
Basically, and on top of that, they were the first people in Canada to import Hello Kitty.
Smart.
There you go. And then, whether coincidence or not, years later, she was the voice of Kitty in the animated series. So there you go. Try that out for size.
Yeah, they're really cute.
Yeah, it's wacky, man. But it's basically they're talking about like the Canadian industry and how it's kind of like there's really nowhere to go once you've done it at all.
That's why I had to go to LA.
Yeah, because once you've done a voice, you can't be like, can I get paid more for this? And Kevin's, well, they're basically having the fake conversation. It's like, well, why would you want that? why would you do that? Why would you ask for more money? You know, like that's Canada. It's kind of like, you don't need more. Do you need more money? Why would you need more money? So that's why you go to LA, you know. And I'm like,
I do always feel like weird trying to negotiate for a raise. I'm like, I know I'm worth more, but
yeah, I'm getting paid the same thing I got paid like 5 years ago. So it's kind of like I'm going nowhere. That condo ain't coming anytime soon. Let me put it that way.
Your loft.
Oh my gosh, that dream loft of mine. And the thing is, I don't even have like lofty dreams, but I just have dreams of a loft. Like I just want this place. Sorry, but I just want. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be on the 5th floor. Like I walked into a place once. It was like Dundas West, just beside the tracks there, artist commune, you know. And it was the main floor. I just wanted to check it out, and it was this big open space with like the only thing dividing the bedroom from the rest of it was a stained glass window, like you see at an all-you-can-eat restaurant or something. And it was just like
not a church.
It was sure. And it was just
all
like
you can eat restaurant.
and it was just like a venue, and I'm like, the parties I can host here, because the one thing I always wanted to do is host a Halloween party.
Oh,
and
they're fun.
I've never been able to host one because I don't have the room for it.
Aww.
And I'm just like, I've always wanted to have, and from the Scott Pilgrim comic, when is it not Kim Pine? What's her name? Julie
Stiles.
Julie Stiles like hosted that party, the Halloween party. I always wanted to have that. It's like that giant space, people dressing up, me providing things.
I remember in college somewhere, I forget where it was, but it was down in Toronto. I went to some animator, their cousin or something was throwing a party, and they had like it was a beautiful, I don't even know, it was like 3 floors and then this like spiral staircase up to like a roof, and it was just kind of like this neighborhood that didn't look like too much, but it was just like the space was amazing, and it was just packed with people, and I was like, I want this. And
even like you have like artist friends and lessons you go to at lofts, and they have rooftop stuff. I'm just like, that's all. Like I don't even mean like this giant condo, like 4 floors maybe. Just have a big space, something that you can like. I don't own the 4 floors. I mean, like just like a 4-floor tall building, 5 floors, something simple. Walk up, and you know, freight elevator maybe, and the cage. It was just like, you know, that's so.
It is nice, but it's like my life drawing teacher has a really nice loft area, but it's like it's such a, because it used to be like an old, I think, munition factory or something, like way back. When we had that.
I fear there's like landmines in my closet somewhere.
I don't know. It's walking up the stairs. It's so creaky, and just some of the stairs are going to totally come down. And you go in, it's like, oh, the space is amazing. And there's like a rooftop patio, or a big patio, and you can get onto the roof. You can actually take a ladder and get into the roof of the entire building. Yeah. And people are popping out of their skylights because their barbecues are up there, and it's just it's so.
That's what I want. You know?
It's like a whole artist commune. So there's like musicians, and you walk down the hallway, and there's paint canvases everywhere because like these different artists live in these rooms.
Like I would love that, like the artist commune lifestyle. Like I don't know, like.
And condos are trying to take over.
Oh, they are. Yeah. A friend of mine lives in one of those kind of buildings, and it's going to get knocked down soon.
Because the landlord wants to put up 2 giant condos there, and I don't know where the traffic's going to be.
But that's the whole gentrification setup. Like the artists come in, they make things trendy and pretty. Coffee shops follow them. It becomes the hip place to go and club. Then the expensive places come in. Then the artist can't afford to live there anymore. Then it gets knocked down. A condo shows up. And Toronto is still developing. Like there's the skyline is ever growing every day.
It's kind of like the life cycle of when like an animal drops dead in the forest, and then like first these things eat it, and then these things come, and then these things come, and
they build
then it
a gaudy tower on top of its corpse. It's basically that, you know. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And so the artists move to the next place, and they fix it up, and then that gets bought out, and they have to leave. Like, you know, Queen West, like after Snail left, we have no reason to go to Queen West. It's all shoe stores. Like Steve's Music is about the only thing over there that's still kind of like grungy to a degree. You know, we got Claire saying, I love to do some voice work, but my voice isn't that interesting. I could do a baby cry though, so if anyone ever needs a baby, let me know. The interesting thing, I recently talked to a guy. I was at a recording session, just kind of behind the scenes, just staring at people. And he's a voice actor for, well, not actor per se, announcer, voiceover guy. And he wants to get into more animation. But he's basically saying, like, nowadays people, as far as commercials go, they don't need the announcer voice anymore. Like, what you need is a bag of chicken. Like, they want voices that are, like, relatable and stuff. It's like, what you need is a bag of chicken, you know? It's like, when you come home, like, they want more natural voices these days.
They want, like, that head patronizing? Like...
Maybe. They want a more relatable voice where it's like, you go to Verizon and it's cool versus, you need Verizon to live!
But that stuff's cute. You know? Yeah, and I get you, but sometimes when it's, like, the commercials aimed at, like, cleaning products, I feel like it's someone talking to me about before they give me a shot. Like, it's, like, they're way too common. It's like, oh, and then I have this and that.
They're rubbing your arm with the
like,
gauze,
no,
and you're
no.
like, well, with Tide to Go, you're like, ah!
And then she's, like, flicking the syringe. And
Yeah,
like,
like,
I
why
don't
is there
wanna buy
tide
it.
in there?
Yeah, they do. It sounds like they're talking to like a nurse.
Yeah.
No, I don't want.
Like the bottom line, what he says, the same thing we've all said about everything. If you want to do voice work and voice acting, just do it.
Just do it.
You know, don't, as we said before, don't be aspiring. Just be.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. 'Cause it's interesting. Like David was talking about, like if you want to be a director of movies and like short films and stuff, be a director.
Make them.
Call yourself a director. You know, set up a shoot, do it, put it on your credential, say you're a director. Who's going to question you?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is like a lie. It's just, who else is going to give you the trophy, the medal that says, congratulations, you're now a director. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you don't need approval. You know, some people debate whether it's if you get paid or not is when you're officially something or not. But, you know, whether you're good at what you do or not is a whole different level of approval. But whether you are what you are or not, that's really up to you to, depending on the career. We've talked about this before, so we'll go back into it.
Yeah,
but in the
everybody's
end,
like, well, I'm a doctor, and I'm like, well, come on
yeah,
now. Like,
there's some things where you got to be approved and have a medical degree. Like, you can be an unpracticing doctor, like Blackjack. You could be an underground, unlicensed doctor, and everyone keeps going, oh, he's unlicensed, we don't trust him, but he always pulls it off. You know, they doubt him, and then they're like, oh, he proved us wrong. But then they never told anyone that they were proved wrong, because the next guy's always like, oh, Blackjack, he's unlicensed.
That's how people get busy. Because
Yeah.
we'll tell everybody about you, and then it's like some TV's
Yeah.
on.
It's just like, yeah, it's just like a lie to me. Like Dr. Cal Lightman, everyone's like, your science is willy-nilly, no, what's the word? Is malarkey. And then he proves them all wrong. They're like, well, Cal Lightman, you're the best. I'll tell all my friends. And he doesn't. Because then the next episode, it's like, your science is malarkey.
Can you tell your friends, please?
Yeah, because someone please tell everyone that I'm good. Well, I do.
Do you guys even have friends?
It's just like,
a blog.
yeah.
Something.
Couldn't someone post
Twitter.
something? Because everyone's always, and that's usually like a way to make a compelling story, because it's like, against all odds, he proved them wrong. It's like, well, if everyone was like, Rocky, you're a bum! Every chapter, you're like, dude, he's won a couple of things. You gotta calm yourself. Like, he kind of achieved it. You know, so it's, I don't know, it seems like a shoehorn story element sometimes, when it's always just like, no, I don't believe in your crap, even though you've proven yourself so many times in this series. I'm like, alright, you don't have to use that conflict anymore. I think he's good to go. Kel, this is what I've been saying. I understand completely. I just moved to Portland, Oregon, and I feel like I lucked out. I think Portland still has a bunch
Portland
of
sounds like
very
a nice
artist community
place.
type stuff, which, you know, seems to be holding out. Like, there's a culture of it. It's not just like, let's make, like, there's certain districts in Portland where there's no like well-known brands. Like, the whole street is just like mom and pop stuff. You know, it's like, if you want coffee, it's from Old Spaghetti Bear, or I don't know what it's called. It's just
They got them.
some place.
Voodoo Donuts.
And Voodoo Donuts, yes. And I'm like, I'm all for that. Mix it up a little. Go to Pal's bookstore. They don't tax you. No, they don't. You buy all them books, you leave, and you're like, I got more money.
Yeah.
At least that's my
I
experience.
love me some powers.
We're coming up on the hour. Katie's got work to do, so we weren't going to have a long episode. And also, neither of us have lived really much this week, so I kind of reported everything there's to report on, unless you guys had something to go on. We got Kel saying, yeah, it's all small. And Daniel Luke saying you can always be a doctor.
Luke.
It just takes a long time, and you're not willing for it to take a long time. You'll never have any
You wanna be a doctor in
patience.
comics.
I'll say that again so you get it. If you... Wait, hold on. If you're not willing for it to take a long time, you will never have any patience. Patience. Daniel Luke with the jokes.
Oh, you.
Daniel Luke, what is your website?
Where can people
We have to.
find you?
Where can people find you? Because you have some silly stuff. You got a fine selection of ukulele pieces that more people need to know of. I know you have a YouTube.
I think it's just Weebot.com.
Is it Weebot?
Is it? Tell us,
Is
Daniel
it?
Luke.
Fellow fan of Gravity Falls, Daniel Luke. Glenn says, "Oh snap." Glenn, was
I
that
thought
your
was a
article?
thing.
Webot15.blogspot.com. So do
Why
check that out.
15? What's so special about 15?
Why anything? Boo you. It's 1 minute till the hour. If you guys have nothing more amazing to point out that we can talk about, we're going to start wrapping things up as we
Start
always
plugging.
do. Yeah, if you want us to plug something, like, we got nothing going at the moment, so if we could talk about your stuff.
Yeah.
Beyond that, once again, Movember, you want to head over to Movember, look up the page Shaggy Shan or for Quarter Circle Mo, which is our team. You're going to want to donate $25. If you want another chapter of Shaggy Reads Twilight, $25 plus the code SRT or Shaggy Reads Twilight, whatever, in the comment once you've donated. This is the very last chance anyone will ever have to have more Shaggy Reads Twilight, because I gotta move on. And since the movie guys have moved on, they've finished it.
They're like, the actors don't care.
They don't want to do it anymore, so why should I? So this will be the last time ever you get a chance. So, put it in consideration. There might be a day where you're like, oh, I feel like listening to some Shaggy Reads Twilight. You're like, oh, there's only 13 chapters. I kind of wish they got to the part with some actual conflict. But oh well, you missed out. But you can avoid that from happening. Your future self can forgive your past self or thank your past self, depending. Go to Shaggy Shan on Movember, and $25, and it will be your name will be in the credits. It'll be great.
You should have Edward read the credits.
Edward will read your name. Whatever character you want will read your name. It'll be great.
Wait, who's
We're
the other
dedicated
character
to you.
I like that you do? The crazy friend.
Who? Is a friend?
Isn't there a friend?
Who?
You do this really funny voice from one of our friends.
Which guy? Oh, the guy who's a dog, but he isn't Jacob?
Actually, all of them.
There's one guy, for some reason, he's an animal this whole time. Oh no, that's Jessica. She's like, we're the best of friends. Last chance to hear all those voices, man.
So good.
Because I'm putting them all away. Because where else could I use that Edward voice,
I'm sure we could find something.
What character goes, yeah. Even I'm kind of sad to think that there will be no more. But
yeah.
Temps the breaks. I'm just guilting you on to donating. See, I'm pretty transparent with my motives. Yeah.
Speaking of donating, did you hear about Ryan North's new project?
What's Ryan North's new project?
He's working on this Choose Your Own Adventure Hamlet. It's like an adult Choose Your Own Adventure book, and it's, all the deaths are illustrated by different well-known online cartoonists. There's like Kate Payton and like Marlo Meekins and Vera Broswell and just a whole ton of people are drawing all the deaths.
Yeah. All right.
There's so many ways to die and Choose Your Own Adventure. Those things stressed me out in grade school.
I thought I saw something. Yeah. Hamlet. Check that out, Ryan North. Beyond that, you're going to want to check out the book Silly Kingdom, which is over there. Only a couple copies left. You guys, it's what?
They're handing it out at my company. It's creepy.
Who? Why? Is it Strawberry Shortcake? I think I prefer the Sugar Rush characters.
Evil shortcake.
I don't like it. No.
The thing I meant to reach for was...
Yeah, Silly Kingdom, Ellen Roach's 211th birthday. Only a couple copies left, so if you have a sweetheart who hasn't read it yet and Christmas is coming...
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend shoving in a stocking, but it's a nice little
it's a stocking to
book.
Put beside her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to check that out?
There's actually only 20 copies left, I think.
20 left?
Yeah.
$6 for physical print as well as signatures in it. It's all nice. Mm-hmm. And digital's only 99 cents.
And those don't run out. So.
Yeah, those don't run out. We're not running out on digital unless the internet is running out.
Yeah.
That will be a problem for us all.
That will be a problem.
Yes.
I get my tumble fix.
That'd be interesting. That'd be like the future war. It was like, in the year 2020, there's no more internets. And we fight over it to post cats. And fails. And it's like, good use, guys. That hopefully doesn't happen. But what does happen is every Wednesday is a new episode of Shanahanigans live around 8 o'clock on this very live stream channel you're watching. If only I had a credit card. There's gotta be other ways. Find a way!
We are in some select shops.
Unless it's referencing the Twilight thing, because that could be good too. When you have more Silly Kingdom, will you eventually put them in a trade? God, yes.
Yeah, I think we'd like to do a big full color book at some point.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
We should do like a learning episode sometime soon. Do you have like time to like draw in front of these fine folks?
I do.
Because they're just looking at me all this time, and I'm not terribly interested.
But I might not until... This is so ridiculous. This is like when I'm planning outings with friends. I'm like, I'll be free.
I can fit you in February.
Yeah, pretty much. Things will settle down in February.
Alright. So for now, throw some topics our way. We'll have some stuff to talk about. You can email. You can go to our Facebook account, of course. You can go to Shanahanigans on Facebook. There's also Tumblrs and Twitters. Shaggy Shan, Katie Shy.
Yes,
beyond that, yeah, be sure to subscribe to stuff. We'll keep you posted on what's coming up. And yeah, I got nothing.
I'm pretty good. I think I need to make some coffee to keep myself going through the evening.
Coffee sounds good. We also got a box of chocolates to finish off. So
shoot,
we will see you guys next week. Keep an eye out for the Movember video. I'm hopefully posting tonight. That'll explain everything I just said today again. See you guys around. Cheers.
Bye, guys. Stop.